So next we have Adam Levy from CardFlick.
My name is Adam Levy. I'm the iOS developer at CardFlick, and what we're trying to do is change the way business cards are distributed, or I should say contact information is exchanged on smartphones by allowing users to be able to create beautiful branded business cards, similar to what you all carry around, but instead it's on your phone. So there's no need to fill up your wallet with a bunch of business cards. So I'm going to start out by showing you a quick little demo video of our product, and then I'll go into a little, another little demo on the actual app.
It's hard for me to see. You found your way back, and you're waiting so blatantly. It's hard for you to see. This could be all I say.
So that's just a quick little video of our product. So now I'm going to go through. Show you the actual app and show you the app in motion. We'll see what we can do. So this is the iOS app that we've been working on. It's obviously called CardFlick. And the app kind of starts out with giving the user the ability to select from different themes. So we started with about 8 or so themes that the user can select from our app. So we'll start out by selecting this one. So after I select the theme, it takes my information that that the app has pulled in from Facebook, and then applies the theme to my card. So that's kind of the first thing. So you can look at the card, you can look at your information as the name, some other contact information. You can put the card in full screen, but this is mostly for visual purposes. But the real value in the app is the ability to actually share the card. And if I can get down, basically this is the flick screen. And on the flick screen is where you actually share the card with other users. So currently the app is set up to be able to share on either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but later on we're going to be implementing some other technologies so that you can, it'll work with any smartphone device. I can't actually show the sharing because this is a simulator. But I can kind of show you the little animation on what would happen when the card is actually shared. So there's a little flicking animation that you saw in the video, and that's the card actually sharing. So after the demo, if you guys want to actually check it out in action, come find me and Devin. We can show you the 2 phones sharing the card. So one problem is if you want to give your card to somebody, to a user, and they don't have the app, well, you do have the option of entering their email address. So the way that will work is you click on the email screen, and I'll send a card to myself. All right. So the card gets sent to me, and then if I go into my email, then really big, and then so this is one that I had sent previously. I'll show you that it's actually comes in. So here's the card that was received, and resolution's a little bad on the screen, but regardless. So it looks like a real business card, except you can receive it in your email, and you can download the V card. It has all the person's contact information. So that's really how we're trying to solve the problem of when the user doesn't have the app. So when they receive that email, the email has a link to the app so they can download it for whatever smartphone they carry. So kind of going beyond that, you share cards. After the sharing occurs, we also have a way you can manage the cards that you have exchanged. by looking at everyone that you shared the card with. Now, one of the problems with the traditional business cards is that someone gives you a business card, and sometime later down the road, a year or two later, their information changes, their email address, their phone number. But you don't know that. You have their business card, but the business card is still the same. So that's what our app will obviously do is when they change their information on the app, it also changes that on the business card. So I mean, we think what we're trying to we're trying to basically combine both the data sharing and the whole visualization of what you get on a business card. And there's some other features we're thinking of adding into it that make it more like a real business card exchange that most people are used to. And let's see, so I'll,
Restart it in the simulator, because I think it'll size it. But it
I don't want to do that. Well, it's all right. So I mean, that's pretty much it. The only other thing I really wanted to show you was just how the card can easily be changed, and being able to look at your other contact information. So I guess I'm ready for questions now. You first?
Two questions. Why is this better than going to a local LinkedIn site and adding the person as their as your contact? And secondly, how different it is from Bump? I think Bump has something similar.
Okay. Right. So the first question was, why is it different than just entering their information into your contact list? Is that correct?
LinkedIn.
In LinkedIn. The second question was, how is this any different than or better than Bump? So to answer your first question, so the problem, well, as I said in the beginning, what a lot of the other services are doing is just really simply exchanging the data. And we also want to be able to exchange the data, but also, along with that data, to have something that really represents yourself in a nice visual way. And that's why when everybody when people buy a business card, they don't just say, this is what I want on it. You spend some time thinking about the font, the logo that goes on it, what cardstock it is, the color of the background. And we feel that no one has really been able to solve that problem. And that's what we're trying to do. As far as Bump, I mean, Bump does a pretty good job at the data exchange. But one thing we felt that it wasn't a very natural process with the exchange, especially if maybe with a friend it's all right, but when you first meet somebody, it's a little weird to kind of go like that. It's not very natural. So that's why we have the flick action. It doesn't require you to touch each other. You just do a normal flick. Any other questions? Back there.
All right, this is sort of the obvious question, but what is the revenue model?
Well, that's something that's still in the works, but one of the things we've been thinking about is allowing designers to create business cards for us, and we'll do a little revenue split. Because eventually, the cards may or may not be free. We may want to charge for the cards, as real business cards aren't generally free. That's one thing we're thinking about, but it's kind of in the works. We're figuring out both the design of it and the whole business side of it. Back there?
Yeah, I work for a design agency. My cards are kind of important to me the way they look, so I gotta get my card.
Right. Yeah, so the question was, this gentleman works at a design agency, and so you're wondering if you can apply your themes to our cards. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right. So that is one of the things that we're thinking about so we're going to start off by creating our own themes, but we also want to work with some larger corporations you think about a large company that has their own business card theme, and we'd like to work with them to get their themes within the app. And so that's something we are definitely thinking about.
One last question.
Take the question in the back. Yeah, sure.
So the card live in the app itself, or do automatically create the contact in the phone?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Do the cards stay in the app itself, or do you have the option to create the automatic contact in the phone?
So one thing that I wasn't able to show was that there is a screen where you can edit your information. So it'll just pull your basic information from currently Facebook, but we're going to look in some other social network sites. But you can edit your information and change it. So that when...
If I photograph my card with Google Goggles, it asks me to create a contact in my phone. So I have that person's information on my call list.
Right, right.
Does that functionality...
Yeah. So that's something we're also thinking about is really the best way to sync it with not only the device, but other sort of contact management services like Google. And that's something we're definitely thinking about. So we're not trying to replace the contact list because that's really like the go-to place that people will launch when they want to make a phone call. We're really just trying to be the application that people use when they're just exchanging the information and being able to see what might have been updated.
Okay, great. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
And thank you for being so flexible.